All systems are go. Okay, number 1 and 2, source 3850, control still 570, lock 3350, cabin 34, synchronous orbit achieved, minimal aspect system.
We copy you down, Eagle.
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
I was asked by the Minister of Highways at the time to come up with some kind of litter program. Well, there was a race between the Russians and the Americans to put the first guy up on the moon, and this was very interesting.
I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
I was just horsing around and doing some as designers do, I guess, try to get something. And I come up with a circle. And the circle developed into another circle, and it developed into the orbit. So I was sketching a little bit of circles on a piece of paper, and then one thing another come along, and then the Sputnik came into my head. I figured, oh boy. And I guess the rockets that were going up were always cylindrical in shape, and there was always feet there, especially landing on the moon. They had that foot. So I guess maybe all this happened in here somehow, and it just came on paper, and that worked out pretty well. It wasn't called the orbit then. It was called a litter sphere, I think I called it at the beginning. I think the first batch we got was 10, and then it came across pretty good, so we increased it, and I think it finally wound up that it was about 140, 150 all over the province. The province had letters from all over the world. They had a lot of response. In fact, they showed me the stack. They had a stack of correspondence from, like I say, all over the world. And I don't know about you, but if you ever go to somewhere, do you write a letter and say, oh, I really enjoyed this trip over to wherever you went? Not very often.
We are a t-shirt printing company.
We specialize in doing custom print jobs for people who want shirts, 2 or 20 or 200. And we also have a line of our own designs, most of them featuring local stuff or,
And we do buttons.
Buttons.
What inspired the Orbit's design?
We were just trying to think of things that were locally related, or things that would make people think back to the youth, or I don't know.
Who doesn't have memories of these things on the side of the road when they were a kid, you know?
We kind of grew up in a rural town on the #1 highway in Manitoba, so to go anywhere you had to drive on the #1. If you were going to do anything exciting, it was down the #1 highway. So whether you were like going on a trip with your family, or later just going on road trips with your buddies, the orbits were there, and it was kind of a landmark, a cultural landmark, something you remember from growing up.
The cool thing about the design with the orbit is that it was strictly something in Manitoba, so people just driving through Manitoba would always associate it with our place, and
Or there was a smaller version in the city, and I think that's part of it. I don't know if it was even the same design, but it's like we had these big ones, like the 48 inchers, the big ones, highway sized, and in the city they had a smaller one, so it maybe didn't have as much of a pow, Maybe. I'm just a little ball. Pow, I'm a big ball, you know what I mean? I remember when I was a kid, they were just kicking in the recycling is big, right? And they had the orbit, and then they always had this little hut beside it on a stand about probably 4 feet tall, just about so it was the same height as the orbit, and it had a little hut on top of it. I don't know what that was for. It was always empty.
clearly we thought the trash was going to space.
Man, you know what? Honestly, as a kid, I probably did think the trash was going to space. I probably did.
That's where we
They tend to take things literally.
Put your trash into orbit. I probably did think they were going to space.
It got to the point where they weren't using them just for litter, they were using them to dispose of garbage. And it got out of hand. The cottage owners were taking their garbage from the cottage and just putting it beside the orbit. And it was more or less we were in the garbage business all of a sudden. But then it got to the point too in certain areas where, and I don't know who it was, I can't put my finger on it, but you'd find livestock, dead livestock in there. And I guess some hunters would throw their carcasses in there when they've taken off the meat. And again, the maintenance forces weren't equipped. And we were not equipped either. The highway department was not equipped either to be in the garbage business.
I was thinking the Manitoba Museum should have an orbit display. I don't know if any of them still exist or if they'd have to remanufacture one. Or
It would be cool. I think people would like to see, anything retro come along, and
even if it's a
People have
retro
never-
trash can.
people have memory of the orbit, so bring it back.
Would I like to see them again? Yes. And I also have an idea on how we could use it and redesign it so that it could be used again and not have all that garbage that people should take to the dump. If any politician that's interested, I have an idea.